Am I overreacting? Caught my wife's stepdad sniffing her underwear on the baby monitor. We are currently living out of state, and my wife flew home to surprise her mom. She took our 10-month-old son with her. She called me and told me to look at the baby monitor that automatically turns on when it senses movement. I looked at the video, and she was talking about you can see her stepdad, who her mom married when she was 10, in her room. My wife staying with her grandparents. Pick up a pair of her pants with the underwear in them. She takes both at the same time off so the underwear stays inside the pants. Hold it up to his nose and take 3 big sniffs that you can actually hear on the monitor. So how is he sniffing this? Yeah, that's how we sniffing it. And then set them down. This was an hour ago. I am close to buying a plane ticket and flying there and beating him up. What should I do? She's telling her mom right now. Edit. My wife was convinced me not to beat him up because of the legal trouble that could bring. Unfortunately, they are on the other side of the country and we do not have money to buy a plane ticket at the moment for me to be there. My mother-in-law is deciding what she needs to do, but is leaning towards leaving him. Right. We have made it clear that we will love her no matter what, but we will not be near her husband ever again, especially with our children. I think that will convince her to leave him. Unfortunately, again, they recently adopted a 10-year-old girl who was a family friend of theirs. That adds another difficulty to the situation. Thank you, everyone, for your advice in this situation. My wife and my mother-in-law have not confronted the stepfather yet, but are planning to do so tonight. Update on how that goes. We are trying to get another flight for my wife and son to come home as they're planning to stay there for another 2 weeks or so. But due to our financial situation, I'm not sure that will happen. She doesn't feel like she is in danger, but I wish I could be there just in case. Sniffing your stepdaughter's underwear is crazy. What goes through people's minds? Like, don't judge me because I'm no perv, but at the end of the day, like, I don't understand what people get like when they sniff underwear. That's disgusting. Is it like, are they trying to get like close proximity to their private? Well, obviously I feel like it's like a close proximity. Like, if you're sniffing the underwear, that means you're sniffing their cooch, but that's nasty. Ew. And that poor 10-year-old girl should definitely not be left with him. Because if a grown man is sniffing underwear, imagine what else he was doing behind closed doors. Am I the a-hole for letting my chronically late wife miss an event she was looking forward to by not rushing her because I wanted her to face consequences? My wife, 32 female, and I, 31 male, have been together for 5 years. I'm fed up with my wife's chronic lateness to many things. It's really annoying and grates on my nerves. To her, it seems like no big deal because I always manage to rush her by telling her the time of the event 45 minutes earlier. She's never noticed earlier because she's too caught up with herself, constantly taking photos. That's the reason she's always late. She has a decent following on Instagram and is looking to grow as a content creator. I find it really silly how she turns everything we do into photo session. At this point, I've stopped agreeing to take her photos altogether. We've had several conversations about this. I've told her that it's mentally exhausting for me to always have to stay on top of making sure we both get ready according to plan, but she never really does anything to address it. This time, I wanted her to experience the consequences of her actions. This month alone, we've been embarrassingly late 2 times. I don't understand people who always like, oh my god, I can never make it on time to an event. I always have to be late. Like, especially when they base it on culture, like, I'm so and so. Because in my culture, we're always late. Like, it's so annoying. It's disrespectful to be late when you know, like, somebody's waiting for you. Or when you go into an event and then people actually are counting on you and you're just late. It's so rude. Like, you have to be very cautious of people's time. Anyways, let me not go into a rant. This month alone, we've been embarrassingly late to 2 events, and this time was the first she realized I hadn't been honest about the timing because I used to give her a ETA 40 minutes earlier. A week ago, I told her I wouldn't be doing that anymore and that I expect her to act like an adult and be more responsible. It was her birthday this weekend and I got her tickets to an event featuring several performers, including her favorite artist in the first act. This time, as I'd already told her before, I didn't give her the extra 40 minutes buffer. I expected her to remember our conversation and store that information in her head to plan accordingly. Instead, she did her whole influencer routine, decorating our room, setting up studio lights, dressing up, and taking photos. The whole time, I knew she was missing out on her favorite artist because she didn't take me seriously. It was so ironic that I didn't even feel like reminding her. I'm done with the mental burden of always rushing and planning. We arrived and she realized what happened. She got upset and started crying, asking how I could do this to her on her birthday. She said it seemed like I was liking the rise I got from her and asked why I couldn't set my ego aside for one day. I told her this was on her. I'd already made it clear I wasn't going to rush her anymore, and she should have listened the first time and expected to follow through unlike her. She said the whole point of the event was to see the performance of those artists who we just missed. She was incredibly upset and kept crying off and on during the event. The ride home was awkward. I was in the downstairs restroom when she texted me saying I wasn't welcome in the bedroom that night. I ignored her message and went in while she was changing. She looked like she wanted to unalive me, and I simply told her that her saying I'm not welcome was irrelevant because it's my room too. If she's uncomfortable, she could take the couch. She ended up leaving to visit her mom, and I'm considering whether I am the a-hole. I feel like if they're acting like this when they don't have kids, imagine what it will be when they have kids. Because when you have a child, 1 or 2 or 3, like, you have to be early for everything. Kids events, people be taking that seriously, especially if you're paying money for the sports they're into or whatever. This is crazy. Being late every day is so, like, I would be pissed off. I don't even know how he made his 5 years married. If they were married for 5 years, how long were they dating before then? This sounds so mentally exhausting. Am I the a-hole for refusing to wake my girlfriend up for work, which led her to getting fired? I, 26 male, have been in a relationship with my girlfriend, just 28, for 3 years. Jess and I live together. She's not a morning person. This is primarily due to the fact that she's up until 2 or 3 a.m. every day on her phone despite having to wake up at 8 a.m. I've tried to get her to start going to bed earlier so she could wake up on time, but she says that would leave her no time to do her own things, seeing as she only works until 4 p.m. This is patently false, but I decided not to press the issue. Generally, I have to wake up Jess. I wake up at 5, run for an hour, get home at 6, shower, eat breakfast, and use my computer a bit. I'll start waking Jess up around 7:30. I fully understand it's ridiculous to have to wake a 20-year-old woman up, but honestly, I don't mind, or at least I wouldn't mind if it weren't for the fact that waking Jess up is a nightmare. I start by gradually turning on the lights around. Is she a child? What? Turning the lights around 7:30, starting with the bedside lamp. Then I began gently trying to wake her up. If she gets up around this time, she'll go to the bathroom and then I'll go back to the room to find her asleep again. The worst part about waking her up is she's so ordinary in the morning. She'll use expletives directed at me, insult me, and then later when I bring up her work, she will just say, I was sleepy and out of it. What do you want me to do? Well, last Friday, she pushed things a bit too far. I was waking just up as usual, and when she walked past me to go to the bathroom, she made this exaggerated dry heaving sound at me. Then she said, you effing smell. Take a shower. I had already taken a shower and always keep good hygiene. That evening, I told her that our deal with me waking her up every day was done. I was done with her tantrums, done with her insults, and done with her frankly dumb facial expressions with how out of it she was. I told her that I'm not moving a finger to make sure she gets up for work on time. She was naturally upset about this, but I said she could wake herself up. Today was Monday, and lo and behold, she overslept and was over an hour late. Since she had already been written up twice during her probationary period for her job, this was an automatic firing. Around noon, she called me incoherently, yelling about how I got her fired. I had to hang up on her to get back to work. When I got home, she immediately started shrieking at me more, then demanded half my salary until she found a better job. Half his salary? This girl has, mind you, this is a 28-year-old woman. I feel like making her go cold turkey on waking up might have been too sudden, and apparently she really liked the job she had. Should I have at least tried to wake her up? If she liked her job, she would have made effort to keep her job. Like, if you like something, you actually make the effort. You put in an effort to keep that as it is, so you can actually keep liking it some more. And like, girl, what? You're 28 years old, acting like this. This guy and the last guy from the last story, how do these people deal with these people? Someone who's always late, like, that would just stress me out. Someone who wants you to wake them up every morning and then screams at you. Like, if you have, like, when I became a morning person is when I first got, when I was I used to be a team lead at a party city, and I would have to wake up at 7 because I would have to go into work at what, like 8:30. I was essentially an opener, so I always had to be early to open the store. Like, I could not imagine someone having to wake me up every single morning. That would just stress people out because, I don't know. And then going to sleep at 2 a.m. I sometimes, majority of the times, actually do go to sleep at 2 a.m. But even now, my new job, I go to work at 9. I still wake up at 7 to start getting ready for the day. Like, nobody wakes me up or anything. But yeah, anyways, what do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section, and I will let you go. Bye. Have a good day.